Peace, Jonathan. Peace. Peace. Good morning, good mid afternoon. It's the Hood Mystic representing www.hoodmystic.com. I've been getting a lot of questions on when does this live stream happen? When is the time I can tune in? The answer to that is sorry, to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and then you'll always know what time this live stream is coming on because you'll get a notification via phone or via your laptop computer or desktop. All right? Because there is no set time. I might go live at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Who knows? But we've been working on the lunar eclipse video. It's going to be a full presentation on that. Just kind of waiting for my camera to get in so we can do it real big on the lunar eclipse. Uh, but other than that, it's smooth sailing with the Hood Mystic. How is everybody doing this morning? Peace to everybody joining in. I'm loving the positive vibration. Oshun is loving the positive vibration. They always talk about July 13th, and I mean, not well, it is July 13th, but Friday the 13th, how it's a scary day, and Jason and all of that. Uh, but this is a beautiful day. This is a day of love, and I really want to talk about love. I really want to talk about love and how it is expressed in the astrology and how it could be expressed in our lives and all of our lives and really a remedy to what's going on in the world today. Because when you look at the world, everybody has this idea that they got to get it. They got to get that money. They got to get good morning, everybody. Peace to everybody. Peace. Loving the positive vibrations. But as I was saying, everybody's trying to get this money and get all of this cash and make it out here and do all of this stuff. And so that's cool. But say, for instance, you're successful in your endeavors of making this cash and getting this money, and you got a nice place to stay, you have a nice car, you have a nice home. Then what? What's the answer after that? Because you still have a majority of your brothers and sisters who are struggling and are looking for a helping hand, but you figured it out. I'm not talking even the conscious people. You're the great sorcerer. You're the great reader, the great psychic. Well, there's some healing that needs to take place on the earth, and it's your responsibility, great psychic, great oracle, whatever you like to call yourself in your playtime. So that's really what's happening. This love that everybody's talking about, this light that everybody's talking about, how can we begin to create the situations and the scenarios that we begin to help each other? Astrologically speaking, Venus is in Virgo, trying Uranus in Taurus. So the changes terrestrially are then connected to Saturn and Capricorn. Pluto is in Capricorn too, and so we're talking about the establishment. So the love that you see in your life and the changes that you want to occur in your life, are you offering your love to humanity and changing the structure of the patriarchy? Are you altering the patriarchy, or are you adhering to the patriarchy? Are you fighting against the patriarchy, or are you going for the patriarchy? That is the real question. In what subtle instrumental ways are you fighting against the patriarchy? It could be simply cooking a meal for someone. It we have to begin to think about how we can begin to give to society, how we can alter society in our own personal way. Or else we're going to be dependent on the patriarchy, and we know how the patriarchy gets down. We have a proven track record of 400 years of this patriarchal society, these presidents and the like, and how they get down and how they actually operate. And if we want to be in some type of fairy tale, and then think that they'll do something for us as opposed to something that we'll either do for ourselves or do for our common man. I don't know where you got in on this video, but you might want to start back from the beginning when I end it. I'm not gonna be long, but everything I says is a string. You got to follow the string, and depending on where you get on that, you might have to start over. But you have to really understand that the world is changing. You need to change with it, or else you're gonna be caught up in something. So I want to talk about Jupiter again. I want to remind you guys that Jupiter is all about clearing the shit that needs to be cleared for your greatest expansion. So the men that leave your life, the women that leave your life, the jobs that leave your life, the houses that leave your life, the neighborhoods that leave your life, the circumstances that leave your life, the good that leaves your life, the bad that leaves your life is for a reason so you can begin to expand your greatest gift. But even if you expand it to your greatest gift, like you achieve the maximum success in your personal life, what would you do from that point? Would you simply build you an ark with all of your fanciful things that you love and enjoy and just live a whole lifetime of you enjoying that? Or would you begin to give back or have some type of legacy, some type of family lineage, something to look back on, something to be proud of? Generally, we think that by being ambitious, that will get us something to be proud of, but ultimately it leads to isolation. So now, as we look at Saturn, as we look at Pluto and Capricorn, how do you fight against the system? How do you alter against the system? Or is the system A-OK with millions of people being oppressed and human trafficking at an all-time high, people getting split away from their families, all of these things happening, but we do nothing about it? In our own personal, like, if we all have a responsibility, if we all have a hand in this life, then what are we doing? Real question. And so I want to talk about Venus again. What is Venus doing? She's in conjunct Chiron, and she's also in conjunct Mars. So she's not really understanding that this is all healing. Whatever you're experiencing, whatever you're going through, it is all healing. And so when we have it in conjunction or a quincunx, we're speaking of a misunderstanding of a present situation. So whatever you're going through, and if we're in conjunct Chiron, the planet of the wounded healer, then that healing is being misunderstood in your present reality. You may have went through something, you may have experienced something in these past couple of months that you do not understand, but it is all healing, okay? And what else is happening? It is in conjunct Mars in the south node. So everything that you're experiencing now is a representation of past life spiritual energy rising to the surface. Now, we could have these beautiful, wonderful dreams and these visions, or we can feel this energy pulsating through us, but what are we going to do with it? Because Mars is conjunct the South Node. So it forces us to act in a way much deeper and spiritually than our existential personal lives have deemed us to act. Well, I was hurt in the past, so this is why I treat men like this. Uh, my ex cheated on me, so this is why I treat women like this. No, when Mars is conjunct the South Node, you're going to act a little differently, and you may not understand it, your love. You may want to show love to a person, but you don't know why you want to show love to that person. That's because Mars is conjunct the South Node. You don't necessarily need to know why all of a sudden or at this point in time. We just have to really understand that this thing is happening. These feelings are real. And what are you going to do to honor them? Okay. So that was 10 minutes of astrology for the day. I hope that resonated. I hope that helped you. I hope that made sense, because that was said with the deepest of love and thought. So here we go. We back on it. These cards, they come, they got a mind of their own. All right. So we have the Five of Swords. And like again, the cards will be in the comments, the cards that I pulled. The Five of Swords. And so loving the changes is beautiful. Loving the attachments is defeat. So Loving the changes is a beautiful experience. Loving the attachments is ultimate defeat. Let it go. Listen to Tony Braxton. Let it go. That's a perfect vibe for today. Two of Swords. I'm going to put that in the comments as well. Two of Swords. The Moon and Libra. Your emotions have to be balanced and your reach out game got to be positive. You can't be reaching out to people like I hope that they return the energy that I'm giving them back. You got to find that inner peace and learn to reach out from a natural place of not wanting anything in return. That's so unattractive and so disruptive to your energy. Learning to give naturally, learning to give freely is the only way to go. Man or woman, children or adult, old person or baby. Love and give purely. The universe. Once again, I put out a video, Saturn Explained, to fully understand this energy of getting outside of time when we're discussing law of attraction and magic and astrology and anything spiritual that could be discussed. We have to get outside of time because if I'm that's the reason why 8.8 billion people in the world they're stuck in Saturn and then it's only a small few who's talking about spiritual experiences and understanding the spiritual world because we are outside of time. I'm inside of time in this video, but once I upload it, I'm no longer live. I'm somewhere else. I'm somewhere different. I'm living my life, It's a beautiful thing, this magic thing, but you got to get outside of time. Being conditioned into time, thinking that your life is relegated to 24 hours in a day and that this moment is the only moment that you have and not realizing that there are billion different realities happening all at once and you have to begin to step away from your personal life to even access this information is what we're talking about in the universe and really understanding that love is an action word. Love is something that you do, it's not something that you receive. The Four of Wands, which represents completion. And so, fully understanding this information, fully vibrating on the level of purity and outside of time and magic, and understanding that this energy is an action word, it's not something very passive, then things start to happen very fast. We have the Eight of Wands. And so that's Mercury and Sagittarius. That's when our mind is focused as opposed to postulating and analyzing. We got a lot of postulating and analyzing to do, but we're just not there yet. We're about to go into Leo and we're in Cancer, and Cancer is not no punk. Cancer is about to get some stuff popping and you just don't know it yet. But finishing this thing off, we have the Princess of Wands. And the Princess of Wands, well, we have this young lady separating from her animalistic self and traveling up into the ethers. So, what that's basically saying is your animalistic desires. Oh, I want this. Oh, I want him. Oh, I want her. She's so sexy. Oh, he's so sexy. That's a block, ladies and gentlemen. And not to say that you can't have all of that sexy shit in your life. uh it's just more or less of releasing the tension or the want or the desire and really going up into a spiritual place where sexiness is plentiful and bountiful and abundant, and the idea of want is far removed from your experience. It's more or less the idea of I simply have everything that I want, desire, need, or ever could imagine because I vibrated higher. I raised from my lower desires into my higher desires. I didn't sacrifice my lower desires. I conceptualized my lower desires and now they make sense. And now I'm able to live in complete and utter peace because I live in the moment. And I love everything about this moment. And I do that repeatedly over and over and over again. And if I look back at my life a year later, I say, wow, that was beautiful. I'm going to keep doing that. So Please donate to my channel, paypal.me/the Hood Mystic, Cash App Hood Mystic 38. My website is www.hoodmystic.com. To email me, hoodmystic@gmail.com. This message was brought to you by the love in my heart for the upliftment of humanity, the raising of the vibration of all humanity, the rising of up out of your lower self into your higher self. And this message is for the few. So if it resonated with you, thank you for vibing with me. And if it didn't, one day you'll get here. So peace, calm, prosperity. Oshun says this is the day of love. So love is an action word. If you're not loving actively, then love does not apply to you, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.